leading PSV Eindhoven takes on Greek power Panathinaikos. On to London, where the Gunners of Arsenal face Sweden's Rosenborg. The games continue. The UEFA Champions League on ESPN.
Simply the finest football on the planet. The top clubs. The elite players. In a quest for the ultimate prize of European football. The UEFA Champions League on ESPN.
Tomorrow night on ESPN, a special college hoop doubleheader, the Jimmy V Classic, starting at 7 Eastern. The Memphis taking on 12th-ranked Pittsburgh, followed by number 5 Oklahoma State taking on 4th-ranked Syracuse. The Jimmy V Classic tomorrow night at 7 Eastern on ESPN. Chris Mortensen rejoins us. Fantasy football players are they're crushed. Priest Holmes likely out for the season. The Chiefs got a chance to see Larry Johnson yesterday. Johnson stepped up 174 total yards and 2 touchdowns against the Raiders. Chris, will Johnson be more of a factor in Kansas City next season?
Well, you would think so. I know that Kansas City fans are going to say, boy, we can get something of trade value for Larry Johnson now. But listen, Priest Holmes is coming off 2 seasons now. Last year a hip injury, this time a knee injury, even though he hasn't had needed surgery. Derek Blaylock's going to be a free agent, so it makes sense that the Chiefs would go ahead and keep Larry Johnson on their roster, even if they do get entertain some trade offers for him. And clearly, Trent Green was happy with another facet of his game yesterday, Susie, and that is he was picking up the blitzes as a blocker. That means he's starting to really come on in this league.
That's good to hear. To the business of sport, the rebuilding job has begun in Cleveland. The Browns' search for a general manager is underway, but the greatest Browns player ever has his own choice. He wants Ozzie Newsome to be the GM in Cleveland. Any chance of that happening?
I don't think so, Susie. Ozzie Newsome loves the Browns, loves the Browns as a player. You know, he won't even sign a Ravens helmet to anybody who puts one in front of him because he'll only sign Browns helmet. But he's got a contract with the Ravens. That's where success is. He's going to stay there with the Ravens. Meanwhile, the Browns are using a headhunting firm to look for a general manager. They're interviewing the likes of Randy Mueller and Mike Reinfeld, Phil Savage from the Ravens also there, and then Tom Heckert of the Philadelphia Eagles. And they do have an advantage right now. And I just spoke with Ron Wolf a little while ago, the former Green Bay Packers general manager. He was hired in 1991 with 4 games left as the Packers general manager. He said it gave him a great chance to come on, assess the final 4 games of the year, look at the coaching staff, look at all the players there, and it led the way to him hiring Mike Holmgren and trading for Brett Favre. So there is an advantage if the Browns go ahead and hire a GM right now.
That's the advantage. Is there a disadvantage?
Yeah, you know, it's interesting. There's this big argument going on right now that you think that you have to have a general manager. Don't let the coach make the decisions. But if you look at the 3 coaches with the most wins since 2000, they are Andy Reid of Philadelphia, Bill Belichick, and Mike Sherman of Green Bay. And Belichick, of course, has 2 Super Bowl wins. Guess what? They all have the personnel control. So if you hire a general manager right now and you give him personnel control, it may prevent you from hiring a guy like Nick Saban of LSU, who many feel may be the most qualified coach out there. But at the same time, I think it just means you get a good organization together and you'll end up with good players too. Still remains a very individual thing. Thanks, Mort. More later on the future for Mike Shanahan and Mike Holmgren. John Madden enjoying the beautiful Northwest as he joins us from Seattle to toss around some topics. John, how many cups of Seattle coffee have you had?
I get about 6 or 7 in the morning to get me jump started. Then that's it. And I got jump started pretty good this morning.
Matt Hasselbeck has just not been the player this year that he was last year. What should we expect to see tonight?
Yeah, I think he's going to be better tonight because he's going to be healthier. He had a knee problem and a rib problem, and it's all on the right side. And of course, that's not a good thing. But I think the whole team has been disappointing. You know, I don't know that they've ever recovered from that Ram game. They had the big lead here, and then they blew it, and they've kind of stumbled around, all of them. I mean, Matt Hasselbeck has had some injuries. He's had his receivers dropping balls on him. They lose. I mean, things just haven't been going the Seahawks' way. nor have they been going Hasselbeck's way.
Seattle's scratching and clawing to win the West. The Eagles already clinched the East. Who can challenge the Eagles?
Well, I don't know. I don't see anyone in the NFC now. Between now and the end of the season, someone may jump up. I mean, who would have, thought a year ago that team would have been Carolina? But the way they're playing now, it's easy to say that the Eagles are the best team in the NFC. And the toughest thing is, if they're who's second best? I mean, you go to the Atlanta Falcons. Obviously, it's not the Green Bay Packers, Minnesota Vikings. After you go in the NFC to the Philadelphia Eagles, I don't even know where you would start to go next.
Like the Eagles offense is lighting it up. Indy's offense has been unbelievable. If you were coaching a defensive game plan, how would you stop them?
I would probably just drink some more coffee that I was talking about, and then put something else in it later. I don't think there's any way. I mean, if there were a way, I mean, Peyton Manning has everything going now. I mean, he has receivers, he has running back, the offensive line. He has as much confidence as any quarterback that I've ever seen in football, and there's no answer. I mean, you can say, blitz him. That doesn't work. Just cover him, fool him. I would think that if I were the defensive coach, I would ask the offensive guys to attack them. I mean, I think when you go in and you play the Colts, you better be ready to score about 35 points. I think your special teams, has to make a play. I mean, a fake field goal, a fake punt, a block punt, those types of things, because you can't rely on your defense to stop or control that offense.
Colts sure have been fun to watch. John, enjoy your game. Have a few cups of coffee for me.
Okay, Susie, thank you.
All Madden, brought to you by T-Mobile. Get more minutes, more features, more service.
He's played 10 games, but he looks like he's played 10 years. Why Big Ben got so good so fast. And wait till you hear who is the most surprised by it all. He's the most fun Denver Bronco to listen to since Tom Jackson and Al Wilson.
They expect us to hit them in their damn mouth. So let's make sure we do that, man. Bolted by Al Wilson. Wilson came flying up and hit Wheatley right in the chops.
Welcome back to Monday Night Countdown, delivered by UPS.
Ed Werder warned us about this at Quest Field. Look, they're watching us, but we're watching them watching us.
Who's on first?
Episode of The Twilight Zone. Ed Werder will clear it up. Let's go back to Ed.
Morton needs a little more pancake makeup, it looks like, from here. Anyway, Seahawks receivers, they need to drop fewer passes. They lead the NFL in drops with 43 in just 11 games. It's gotten so bad that when Seahawks players drop a pass at the end of the possession, they go over to the bench on the sideline and do 20 push-ups for every drop. The one guy you won't see over there, Jerry Rice. It's 42, the NFL's greatest receiver tonight, just 7 yards from surpassing Brian Mitchell as the most prolific player in Monday Night history. He's got 3,884 receiving yards, 33 touchdowns in 44 career Monday Night games. Susie, the Cowboys have given up 22 touchdown passes, but they're not intimidated by the lack of speed the Seahawks receivers have.
Thanks, Ed. Getting crazy there as the Cowboys come onto the field. Here's news the Seahawks will be keeping tabs on Rams quarterback Mark Bolger. Left yesterday's win over the Niners with a sprained throwing shoulder. If he can't go this week, Chris Chandler will get the start. And bad news for the Jets. Defensive end John Abraham is out of Sunday's showdown with the Steelers with a sprained right knee ligament. Abraham leads the Jets with 9.5 sacks. And it's going to be another battle of the MAC. Chad Pennington, Ben Roethlisberger. Is everybody on the Ben Roethlisberger bandwagon now?
Yes.
10 wins, a rookie record. This guy's unbelievable under any conditions. Remains so calm.
Yeah, and Susie, last night he really grew up getting that 10th win, because the key to being a successful quarterback long-term in this league is to lead a football team to a victory in a 2-minute drill. It's amazing how quick you will win your teammates over when you do that. And here's Ben surveying the field on this 1st down and 5. He's got Randall L. on a short cross. He gets double covered. That's Mike Peterson there who's going to get him real quick, but Ben buys a little time in the pocket, checks it down to Randall L., gets out of bounds, moves the chains. Well, now you're going to see the blitz from the Jacksonville Jaguars, but Ben does a nice job of spotting the single coverage, delivering the football on time, moved the chains once again. Tommy, look at that.
And he knew that he was going to get hit by the corner on the blitz coming from the bottom of that shot.
And here you see Alan Faneca, Marvell Smith. Nice blocking for Willie Parker. And Michael, look at that
That's far
downfield.
beyond anything I understand, but it is a nice job blocking by their wide receiver.
All right, now 1st and 10. One-on-one on the outside. Big Ben reads it. Lee Mays reads it and throws the ball. Mike, you see where it was?
Back hip, away from the cornerback. It was a perfect throw, Jaws.
And that set up this game-winning 37-yard field goal.
And I like the fact that he knows who to thank at the end of a game. Thank the big fellas.
No question. Those guys make it all happen.
Well,
Big Ben and the big fellas.
Yeah, and the other thing that I thought, that game was as close to playoff tempo as we have seen. You know, the hitting in that game, he knew he was going to have to take a lot of shots. And the thing that I look for in any young quarterback, I look for a guy who stands in. In fact, they'll only do it when they're young. Stand in, take your shots, deliver the football.
Oh, for me, Tom, it was that last drive. That is the hardest thing in the world to do. 145, you have to drive this team the length of the field, get a field goal to win the game. He stayed cool, he stayed calm. It's always hardest to get that first down. He got that first down and moved that team. Final stage, he's a professional quarterback.
No question about it. I actually thought he was struggling a little bit before last night's game against Washington and Cincinnati. You know, he was kind of rattled by a lot of the blitzes that he saw. But the main thing, while he was rattled, he wasn't making dumb rookie mistakes. You know, he wasn't throwing bad interceptions, fumbling the football. His bad mistakes were maybe a sack or an incompletion. That shows he knows how important it is to manage the game and not turn the football over.
In that final 2-minute drive, it was without his best receiver, Plexico Burress, who was on the sideline.
We could have been keyed in at that calmness, even at the NFL draft, as other quarterbacks taken ahead of him, Eli Manning, Phillip Rivers. He sat there calm, cool, and collected while his coach from college, Terry Hepburn, throwing a water bottle. His agent, everyone's upset. He's calm. He knew it would all turn out all right. That's the attitude that he has.
Great.
Another big game in the AFC yesterday. Broncos, Chargers. Focus on the Final Four. Fourth quarter, under 4 to go. Jake Plummer lofts a fade pass intended for Rod Smith. Intercepted. 4 interceptions for Plummer. 2 minutes left. 3rd down and 7. And Drew Brees, watch John Lynch. Oh, we see that on Jacked Up, maybe. Ball's loose. Chargers would recover, but forced to punt. 8 seconds left. 4th and 10. Jake the Snake, comeback kid, finds Darius Watts. He picks up the 1st down, can't get out of bounds. Time runs out. Chargers win 20-17. Maybe the biggest game in years for the Chargers. All the AFC division leaders are up by at least 2 games. Jets at 9-3. Good bet for the first wild card, leaving 5 other contenders vying for the final spot and wishing they played in the NFC. Bengals and Bills both started 1-4 this season, but are very much alive at 6-6. Well, this is a lot more interesting than the NFC.
Bengals.
Well,
Oh, yeah.
and somebody said that. Somebody said, why are the Bengals starting Carson Palmer? I can't understand it. What are they looking for? John Kitna lost a job, didn't even lose a job. He didn't earn it. Carson Palmer didn't earn it.
I'll give him a little.
Take that like a man.
I'm taking it like a man.
Take that like a man.
Take it like a man. All right.
Let's turn it back to the Broncos. Mike Shanahan knows as well as anyone that defense wins championships. That Bronco defense has that aggressive nature, personified by Al Wilson in Soundtracks.
You gotta do it.
Let's see what we're made of.
When you hit something hard, and it kind of what that thing hurt. Woo! Let's go, boy. Sir. It ain't cold out here. It feel good. I think they ready to go home, though. They some California boys. They look like it's too cold. Let's not disappoint these boys. They expect us to hit them in their damn mouth. So let's make sure we do that, man. That's what we live for. That's what we live for, baby.
It is 4th and inches. Let's see what the Raiders do now. They're going to go for it. Wheatley gives.
Halted by Al Wilson. Wilson came flying up and hit Wheatley right in the chops.
That's what I'm talking about. That's football.
Yes, sir. Man, we got to get our offensive field position, man. And we can't expect them to go 80 yards in this weather. Come on, Jake, make a play. Make a play.
Here's the boot. Plummer pumps once. Now throws deep. He wants Smith. Rod's there. Rod's got it. Fed race.
40, 35, 30, 20, 15, 10, 5. That is a Denver touchdown. 85 yards in near blizzard-like conditions.
Woo! Hey, who said the old man couldn't go deep? Come on! Come on! Let's go! Play 8! Now! Hey, box it! Hey, box it! Box it! Get these up!
Empty set. Collins drops, looks end zone, pumps, now throws back in the end zone. A javelin leaping grab by Curry. Touchdown, Raiders!
What an incredible catch. I had him, dog. I couldn't turn the corner. Damn.
Field goal attempt for Elam. If he misses, the Raiders will win. High snap, pulled down, blocked! The Raiders block it right up the middle!
Hey, game boy. I got you on that Pro Bowl battle. Take care of me over there. Appreciate it. No shot, no doubt, no doubt.
Up next, will any of these guys make it into this week's Playmakers Club, or will a shy and quiet superstar make a case for Michael's consideration?
Coming up on Monday Night Countdown, I was the playmaker.
I am the playmaker.
Oh, really? Find out if he makes my playmakers tonight.
And no matter what Cowboy safety Roy Williams ever accomplishes on the field, he will always be remembered for something he did off at one faithful night.
Tell me about the night that you proposed to her. What'd you say?
What do you mean, what did I say?
What'd you say to her?
I blew it.
Sunday Night Football on ESPN. Donovan McNabb, Terrell Owens, and the Eagles continue their march to the playoffs. They're in Washington to face the rugged Redskins defense. Eagles, Redskins, Sunday night at 8:30 Eastern after NFL primetime on ESPN. And we know playing in the NFL means big-time pressure. Michael, who's standing up to it?
There were so many great plays yesterday, but let me get you to my top 5 playmakers. Straight to the tape, we go. Let me start off with the Bucs defense. They are my number 5. The Bucs said Michael will not victimize us. They were kryptonite for Superman yesterday. They held 3 interceptions, the defense, 2 forced fumbles, and 5 sacks. Tampa Bay, why can't you play like that every day? I'm still wondering. Come on, number 4, T.O. You guys seen the bump? I had to get him in here because I wanted to play that bump. He had 161 yards. He was running all over the field. T.O., go ahead on. Drop down and get your eagle on, boy. That's Nelly. That's my boy Nelly. He made that song because he knew the Eagles were going to the Super Bowl. Now, the Cardinals yesterday, all they wanted to do was keep up with the Joneses, but they could not. Kevin Jones ran through him, and then he ran by him for 26 carries, 196 yards, and a TD. Cardinals, actually, you can't keep up with anybody. Kevin Jones, you are a playmaker. I'm going to slow down right here, Carson Palmer. I know when to give love if you deserve love. 29 for 36, 382 yards, and 3 TDs. That's okay, but you did it against the top defense in the league, one of them. At least that's what we've been thinking for so long. Carson, you are a playmaker. Now get this, Green Bay, just because his name is Donovan McNabb, you don't have to let him nab all these touchdowns. He nabbed one right there. He nabbed another. He nabbed another. As a matter of fact, he nabbed 5 touchdowns yesterday. Donovan McNabb, you nabbed enough to be my top playmaker. Susie?
Nice job, Michael. Chris Mortensen rejoins us with coaching news. Former Giants head coach Jim Fossil found himself in the headlines this morning. Fossil's name mentioned in connection to the Notre Dame job. Any chance Fossil will be in South Bend next season?
No chance if you believe him today. I talked to Jim Fossil today. Of course, he's a offensive consultant with the Baltimore Ravens, but he says he has no idea how those Notre Dame rumors started. He also has informed Stanford University, where he has had some dialogue with them about their vacancy, that he is not going to pursue any head coaching jobs in the college level, that he's focusing on the NFL. And I think, even though he didn't say it, there's a sense that he has a good shot at maybe the job in Miami and maybe another surprise or two. Who knows? Maybe Seattle, Susie.
Yeah, he set himself up perfectly for an NFL job. Now, the Seahawks, clearly one of the big disappointments in the NFL so far, but still leading the NFC West. Does Mike Holmgren need to make the playoffs to survive in Seattle?
Susie, I think he does. This was the year the Seahawks were supposed to take the next leap forward. They made progress last year. Holmgren's been there 6 years. Much was expected. Nothing much has been accomplished there. They've tried it with Holmgren as a GM and coach. They've tried it now strictly as a coach, and I've spoken with a couple of people who know Holmgren well, and I don't think he'd be surprised if he were fired by Paul Allen at the end of this year if it continues along this path in the final month.
Another big name who could finish outside the playoffs this season, Broncos head coach Mike Shanahan. Is there any chance Shanahan could be on the way out in Denver?
There's almost no chance that Pat Bowlen, the owner, would fire him. He won't even answer those questions. But, you know, there was a report more than a month ago that if Shanahan should go 6 straight years now since winning back-to-back Super Bowls without winning a playoff game or making the playoffs here, then maybe Shanahan would go to Bowlen and say, look, this isn't working. I've talked to Shanahan about that. He says, look, I make a boatload of money here. I've got 4 more years left on that contract. That's ludicrous. But I will say this. He is one of those Bill Walsh family tree members, and Bill Walsh has told all those family tree members that 10 years in one place is long enough. Get out. This is Mike Shanahan's 10th year in Denver.
Mort, great info as always. Thanks.
Thanks, Susie.
Love putting you guys on the spot.
Oh, no.
Love that.
Go on.
Hurry up offense. Ready? Will
Pressure.
Drew Henson start week 1 next season?
No.
No.
Next, Not next season, not the season after that, or the
Yes.
season
No,
after that.
they'll find the quarterback.
One-word answers.
No.
Okay.
Yes.
No.
Are those the rules, by the way?
We just make
Is
them up.
this Jerry Rice's last Monday Night Football game?
No.
Can I get one word? Please, I hope so. Please.
No. No.
Yes, we won't see Jerry Rice anymore.
It's his 45th. Which team hurt its playoff chances most yesterday?
Denver.
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 Come on, Tommy.
Because they're furthest away now. They've got the toughest road now.
Do the Broncos wish they still had Brian Greasy?
No.
No.
Oh, no. No. Michael says it's too cold in Denver.
That's all right.
Too hot in
Miami was too hot.
Cold in
Okay.
Denver, too hot in Miami.
But-
just right in town.
There we go.
Who will win the Heisman?
Jason White.
Matt Leinart. Matt Leinart. Yeah,
Jason White, and then he'll go and best.
although Reggie Bush is probably the best football player I've seen.
Draft pick that
What about
never
Adrian
played.
Peterson?
Freshman.
So what?
Will Carolina make the playoffs?
Yes. 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 Say it.
Commit.
Well, yes. Yes, I have to say it. Yes.
Yes, because of the Mark Fields story. That was great stuff Tommy had.
His character.
I can't believe it.
Will Buffalo make the playoffs?
No.
No.
And
Great start. I mean, look forward to next year, but no.
right now.
We're waiting on you, Michael.
In the row. I said no, they will not
Okay.
because it's hard to get in the AFC. But it is Willis is giving them something great to work.
Willis, you.
Now, if we had overtime, I'd ask you who the hardest hitter is in the NFL. It could be John Lynch or Troy Polamalu or Roy Williams.
Yeah.
The Cowboys safety has quickly become the face of America's team. That's because hard hitting sells in the NFL. His greatest hits tops the charts, although in that department, he's got some competition at home. His fiancée, Kelly Rowland, is a member of Destiny's Child and a Grammy-winning solo artist. They're getting married in March. Alex Flanagan exposes the big hitter's softer side backstage.
What style is the wedding going to be?
I'm not even lie. I really don't know anything. I don't know what Kelly has planned.
We don't know. What food are we serving? What
I have
flowers?
no clue what food we're serving. As far as the flowers and food, I'm not too sure. Roy is just sitting back chilling. I should call and try to figure out what's going on.
How about registering for gifts? Have you done that
Yes,
yet?
we did. She showed me the china that she picked out on the registry. It was some Versace type stuff, and I was like, okay. Just give me a plate and a fork. I'm ready to eat.
Tell me about the night that you proposed to her. What'd you say?
What do you mean? What did I say?
What'd you say to her?
I blew it.
And what do you mean?
Man, I got down and went in. I was like, Kelly, would you do the honor of being my husband? So I dropped the ball. I kept straight fumbled. It was like, you know, movies, everything just stops. And she's like, what did you just say?
What are you most excited about when it comes to thinking about the wedding?
Seeing her walk down the aisle in her dress. Looking forward to that. I'll probably be teary-eyed.
You're Sashi.
Yeah?
You're kind of getting a little teary-eyed out
No,
there
I'm
now.
not, man. The lights are just too bright and shining in my eyes.
Now, I know there's a lot of men out there that are very envious of you because of Kelly, and probably a lot of men that are asking you if you can get them Beyonce's number.
Oh, my gosh. if I got a dollar for every time I heard that,
really?
I'll be doing pretty good.
We just stink. We're bad. It's, you know, a little bit disheartening. We're poorly coached and we play bad. I don't know where we go from here, if anywhere.
We got individual players on the team. That sometimes hurts. And it's just a lot of egos on the team, too.
Have the egos been a problem?
Have the egos been a problem? We call them cancers. And yes, we have some cancers on the team. And when things go bad, you know, that person's bad, you know. When things go good, you know, that person's up. I mean, it's like an emotional roller coaster.
How have you seen Bill Parcells change?
Bill's funny, man. He's a good dude, but he's funny. Because if we lose, he won't talk to us till like Thursday.
Why do you think that is?
Because he hates to lose, and he says it all the time. I'm too old to lose. You know, he has some losing teams, but you know, he had a lot of high expectations for this season, high hopes for his team, and you know, I don't want to say we let him down, but he's just a little disappointed.
Certainly frustrated, Cowboys led the NFL in defense last season, allowing just over 253 yards per game. Different story this year. They are allowing over 75 more yards and 10 more points per game. Boys have surrendered 22 TD passes, 4 more than all of last season, and picked off just 6 passes. Run defense is also worse, permitting almost 1 more yard per carry. On the smooth turf of the playmaking made easy demo field, Cowboys struggle against the run. Let's look at middle linebacker. Dat Win, small, quick, not really a Bill Parcells type of guy, but he was last year. Bill was enamored with him. Why was it working last year, not this year?
Small and quick, Susie, I can relate. And we're going to talk about fundamentals of playing run defense. There's no shortcuts to this. We're going to have my guys work out of the I formation. Jaws is the fullback. Michael is the tailback. I'm the middle linebacker. When I see I formation coming at me, I'm reading the fullback. As soon as he comes off,
on backer.
he
My
comes
responsibility.
off
I'm
in
coming
his
you.
stance. I want to attack him right away, get to him as close to the line of scrimmage as I can. I don't want to make this play 5 yards down the field. I want to make it at the line of scrimmage. When he comes out, I get under this chin, I make him lose his leverage. Now I got to find the football. That means I have to get rid of him here, or I have to get rid of him here. The main thing is find the football, go and attack, and make a play. That's the only way that you can play run defense. You can't play it by doing what, Jaws?
Well, being an athletic linebacker, being a speed linebacker, being a quick linebacker. Now, in your career, let's say you've got a steel plate in your shoulder.
Artificial hip.
Artificial hip.
And numerous other.
And numerous other injuries. Okay. The guys nowadays, they want to have longevity. So they want to play the linebacker position as an athlete. They're not going to take on that Bob block with the same foot, same shoulder. Here's what I see when I look at 10 to 12 games a week on the coach's tape. Now, that fullback's coming after me as a linebacker. Come on, bring it on, bring it on. Whoop! I'm going to the outside. I'm not taking that block on. Now I got Michael right here, and I make the tackle.
Well,
I'm not taking that on.
You guessed right
That's
there.
right.
But if I make that
I'm an athlete, Tommy. I'm going to make that play.
But you jump around that block,
I'm cut.
and Michael reads that. He opens up a natural hole. You open up a natural hole that Mike goes to.
I got a problem now.
That was a cardinal sin when I played. Jumping around blocks, opening up holes, but you have to sacrifice your body in order to make plays, and that becomes even more important if you're an undersized linebacker.
Now, if you're undersized, don't you want to play behind those 2 Amazons up front like the Jags
Well,
have?
just think about Ray Lewis. When he had Tony Saragusa and Sam Adams in front of him, all he had to do was run and make plays. He's still a great linebacker, but now he's got to take people on, especially out of the 3-4. He's sitting on a bubble. Still makes a lot of plays, just not as easy to make them.
Yeah, you're looking at offensive linemen now that are 300, 320 pounds at the guard and center position that are athletes as well, and they want to negate those linebackers from playing downhill, attacking the line of scrimmage.
And we'll see how that Cowboys run D holds up against the NFC's leading rusher, Sean Alexander, tonight.
Playmaking made easy. Brought to you by Staples. That was easy.
The only thing Jerry Jones dislikes more than losing is having to talk about it, but he'll do it anyway. Now the Cowboys owner plans to turn things around in Dallas. And if you hate Monday mornings, imagine how these guys felt when the alarm clock went off today. See and hear who got jacked up week 13.
Welcome back to Monday Night Countdown, delivered by UPS.
Welcome back to Monday Night Countdown in Seattle. In admitting his disappointment that Bill Parcells benched rookie quarterback Chad Hutch, Drew Henson in his first NFL start, Jerry Jones came perilously close to second-guessing his head coach. It was the first public evidence of major disagreement between the owner, GM, and the Hall of Fame head coach. Parcells has decided that Vinny Testaverde will start tonight against the Seahawks. I had a chance to speak to Jerry Jones about that and other issues involving the owner and the coach a little while ago.
I think his desire to win tonight is evident. It was evident when he pulled Henson in the second half. And that's very compelling. We all know that there should be a healthy tension between a general manager's or an owner's wishes to look to the future as well as winning right now. On the other hand, we're still in the hunt, and we both agreed, let's see how the cards are played.
How do you define what you describe as a healthy tension between you and Bill?
Oh, I think, first of all, it's not contentious. A lot of communication. Can throw it on the wall and see where it lands. So all of that is good, and that's as it should be. We have a very close proximity to each other. I visit with him 2 or 3 times a day for the most part.
What's the organization's opinion of Drew Henson as the quarterback of the future?
Oh, his skill, his athletic ability, his accuracy is what we're looking for. His smarts, he's very aware. His work ethic, he's passionate. The issue is his game experience.
How convinced are you that Bill will come back and coach the team next year?
Oh, I have no doubt. There's absolutely no indication from the kinds of things that we're planning on. His basically passion. We all know that he's spends a lot of time. He burns it at both ends. I would be concerned about his health, but certainly I think that's understandable. But everything we're talking about, we spend a lot of time today talking about what we're going to be doing during the off season and preparing for next year.
Cowboys sources say that Parcells has been pouring over information about potential unrestricted free agents that he expects to make over this team significantly in the offseason, with an emphasis on getting bigger in the front seven on defense. And Susie, friends of Parcells say he erred in being too conservative in spending Jerry Jones's money in the offseason, a mistake he will not repeat this year.
Never a lack of storylines with the Cowboys. Visa Skycam bringing you this look from above Quest Field, and tight end Jason Witten, who leads the team in receptions. There aren't many highlights regarding the Cowboys this season, but Jaws, Witten's certainly one of them.
No question, Susan. While the Cowboys have struggled for consistency on offense, they have gotten those big explosive plays. In fact, they rank 6th in the NFL with pass plays of 20 yards or more. And a big part of that has been tight end Jason Witten.
In the year of dominating tight ends, the Cowboys' Jason Witten is one that cannot be overlooked. He's 4th among all NFL tight ends in receptions and continues to be a dominant force for the Cowboys from week to week. Here's Witten in the Week 10 matchup against the Eagles. He'll run a wheel route from his traditional tight end alignment. When wide receiver Quincy Morgan runs his post route to the middle of the field, he lifts the coverage, causing the cornerback to vacate his deep third responsibility. That leaves Witten, who's being covered by linebacker Mark Simoneau, man-to-man. A lot of space to work and get open down the field. This is the dilemma when facing the new wave tight end. Witten easily runs by Simoneau to score a second quarter touchdown. Week 7 against Green Bay. Witten will motion across the formation to a split position. At the snap, Keyshawn Johnson will run a deep crossing route to occupy the safety. That leaves cornerback Al Harris covering Witten man-to-man, a matchup that should favor Green Bay. But Witten beats Harris on the deep route and scores from 42 yards out. This is why Witten is such a gem to this Cowboys offense. Whether matched up against a linebacker, safety, or corner, he has the ability to make a big play.
The problem with the Dallas offense is they can't sustain offense. They can't stay on the field. Rushing the football, they rank 24th in the NFL, 3.7 yards per attempt. That won't get it done. On 3rd and 4 or less, they rank 28th in the NFL. That won't get it done. I think they have one player, though, that can get it done if they give him the football, running back Julius Jones.
Yes. Absolutely.
With any team, it's a building process. First thing, you have to get the guys to believe, which Bill Parcells worked on doing last year. Then you have to build the talent. Is there a foundation there? Are the pieces there?
Yeah, I think they have a foundation, but there's a couple of problems. The comments we heard from Roy Williams certainly are discouraging when you think about the Dallas Cowboys, because character is a real big thing with Bill Parcells. But the other thing is quarterback. I think that they have to put a quarterback in position, stabilize that situation. It's something that Coach Parcells has always told me. You can't do it with Vinny, and I don't think you can do it with Drew in terms of the time it would take to develop Drew Henson.
I never watched Bill Parcells' team and get a quarterback and he just throws the ball all over the place. He just needs a serviceable quarterback, because now Julius Jones is running the ball like everybody expected him to run when he got drafted. So with Julius in place and what you just showed us, Jaws, with Jason Witten, that's a good foundation. You start right there. You keep that offensive line. You go get you some bigger guys on defense, and you go.
And you're exactly right. You said foundation. You have two players, Jason Witten and Julius Jones. The problem with Dallas, they've gotten old and slow. This game in the NFL today is about speed. And we all see it now with the Chuck rule being certainly one that now the officials are calling if you're touching a guy beyond 5 yards. Offenses are now wide open. This Dallas offense need speed. They're way too slow.
But you guys aren't saying they can do it without a quarterback.
No,
you were right.
But it's a different NFL. You go to a Super Bowl running the ball and playing great.
They got more than one problem.
But you do need a good quarterback.
They got more than one problem.
If they lose tonight and they're 4-8, then is it over? Then should Drew Henson get the start if they lose tonight?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Well, the way Jerry Jones talked about him, I thought it was Ben Roethlisberger.
They're still in the hunt, which is why Vinny's playing. Soon as they're out of the hunt, find out about Drew.
Yeah, you have to.
Only one team has used more quarterbacks since 2000 than the Cowboys, and that's the Bears. And you see where they are.
Hello.
Hello, Chad Hutchinson.
I didn't know that.
Well, the foundation could be Julius Jones. 63 rushes, 231 yards, 2 TDs in his last 2 games. Can he get it done tonight against the Seahawks? 1 minute you're running down the field, the next you're looking up at a member of the opposing team who politely informs you that you just got jacked up.
Monday Night Countdown is delivered by UPS. What can Brown do for you? And in part by State Farm. Call your neighborhood State Farm agent and find out why State Farm insures more drivers than anyone else. And the stylish Verve digital camera from Olympus, designed to do more.
End around, he's looking to pass, fires into the end zone, intercepted. Takes the snap, drops the throw, fires a quick look, and Reggie's got it, touchdown! A sensational catch between defenders by Donald Driver. Hand off Bennett, he'll throw the ball, caught in the end zone for a touchdown.
Monday Night Countdown is delivered by UPS.
Nashville, Tennessee, home of the Grand Ole Opera. Tim McGraw, Faith Hill. Opry. Respect Monday Night Countdown on tap. Hey, on paper, preseason, this could have been an AFC title game preview.
Absolutely.
See what?
what happened.
What could have been.
What could have been. Stuart, TJ, Michael, Jaws, only once since the merger has the season ended with 3 teams with at least 14 wins. We will probably get that this year.
Yeah, I think we've got some great teams at the top. And when I name these teams, Pittsburgh, New England, Philly, Atlanta, the New York Jets, San Diego, and Indy. That's 7 squads. You tell me, we got to have 12 in the playoffs. Who's 8 through 12?
Tom, I'm glad you mentioned that because I am T.I. Red of talking about the T.I. Red, tired of talking about the bottom. We are in week 14, coming up on week 15, and we still say the Arizona Cardinals at 4-9, they got a chance. And 5 or 6 other teams at 5-8, they have a chance. After this week, get them out of here. I'm tired of talking about them. I want to talk about teams that are going places.
Well, after watching yesterday's games, I am calling an emergency meeting of the Fraternal Order of Quarterbacks. This is supposed to be the year of the passing game, the offense, lighting up the scoreboard. When I run you these numbers, Eli Manning, 4 of 18. Joey Harrington, 5 of 22. Luke McCown, 8 of 22 picks. Those are the young guys. How about the wily old veterans? Vinny, 14 of 35. Chris Chandler, 6 picks. Chad Pennington, 3 interceptions. Come on, guys, let's get it going.
Those guys are rich.
Yeah. I thought there were new rules that say the DBs can't chuck downfield to help the quarterbacks.
The year of the pass.
Hey, you know, Michael, you mentioned the Cardinals. Technically, mathematically, the Redskins and the Cardinals still 4-9. Still possibly in it.
Man, don't even mention it to me.
Chiefs and Titans are not in it for the postseason, but for pride. And some surprise flavor that you got to watch for tonight. I mean, coming into Week 14, Trent Green, Jaws, a quarterback doing work, led the NFL with 6 300-yard passing games. Tennessee's Derek Mason tied for the NFL lead with 76 catches. And Tony Gonzalez, 7 catches shy of passing Hall of Famer Kellen Winslow and becoming the 3rd most prolific tight end in history. Oh, yes, no playoff, but is some drama tonight. Ed Werder, speak the word.
Well, Stuart, you guys said it. When the season began, this did look like a match of a potential AFC championship game opponents. Now it's decidedly less because neither team can even finish with a winning record. The problem for Tennessee, its injury list is substantially longer than its list of accomplishments this season. For example, you've already seen more of me than you're going to see of the following Tennessee starters, all of whom are out with injuries. Steve McNair, Samari Rolle, Albert Haynesworth, and Brad Hopkins. Billy Volek's going to start at quarterback. At running back, he should have Chris Brown, who's going to go as long as he can despite a painful turf toe injury. His incentive, well, to get his first 1,000-yard season in the NFL, he needs just 24 yards rushing. And against Kansas City's big play defense, that just might require 1 or 2 carries. Trent Green for the Chiefs will be making his 61st consecutive start. That is a franchise record. At running back with Priest Holmes on injured reserve, Derek Blaylock gets the start, but Dick Vermeil says you'll see plenty of former #1 pick Larry Johnson. And then a final note, the Chiefs have just not been able, Stuart, to make that one play to win a game. 11 times, Dick Vermeil told me today, they've been tied or ahead in the 4th quarter, and yet they've only won 4 times.
Ed, thanks a lot. We'll hear from you throughout the show. Still ahead, barring a case of Jay Fiedleritis or Patrick Ramseyosis, Peyton Manning will shatter Dan Marino's single-season touchdown passing record. But will he do it here on ESPN Sunday night? Jaws on that, and
New England's offensive guru is heading to Notre Dame, but not until after the NFL season. Calling plays on Sunday, calling recruits during the week. I'll tell you why New England's Super Bowl run is now in jeopardy.
Performing tonight at my Playmakers Club, as always, the Fab Five. Guys who made owners very happy as we head into fantasy football playoffs. Find out who's in.
Hey, you want to make jacked up? Then you got to make a lasting impression. Literally. I'm going to show you the guys who gave the bone-crushing hits in a wild Week 14.
Plus, John Madden on why the Chiefs and Titans have fallen so far, so fast. Steve McNair, is he really hanging them up? And loud and proud, Ed Reed, wired for sound.
Marches towards the playoffs in Week 14 of this incredible season. It's an old-fashioned shootout when the high-powered offense of the Kansas City Chiefs take on Steve McNair and the Tennessee Titans. Chiefs-Titans live tonight on ESPN. A full night of the World Series of Poker. Friday, only on
Monday Night Countdown is delivered by UPS. What can Brown do for you? And in part by State Farm. Call your neighborhood State Farm agent and find out why State Farm insures more drivers than anyone else. And the new M3 Power from Gillette. Feel the power of the world's best shave.
Ooh, did y'all hear about that game plan Charlie Weiss threw up yesterday for the Patriots? Second quarter, Tom Brady have some to David Patton.
Yeah.
Brady, 21 touchdown passes this year. That made it 14-7 Patriots. And then, are you kidding me?
That's crazy.
I don't think Weiss drew that up. Brady from his keister to Patrick pass, and then Brady to Christian Fourier touchdown. Patriots win it large. Now, imagine scoring first in an NFL record 18 straight games. Now, peep this. One of the biggest reasons why you score first all the time walks out the door, leaving you going, see you, Charlie. Good luck. Miss you. Love you. The New England Patriots, though, they got to understand. They got to let offensive coordinator Charlie Weiss go to become the new head football coach at Notre Dame. 12 days after Ty Willingham was fired, the Irish hired their first alum since Hugh DeVore was interim coach back in 1963.
My feelings are I owe Notre Dame and the entire family to give them my best. I also owe the New England Patriots and the people from New England to give them my best until their season's over. Because once their season's over, my NFL career is over. And I'm the head coach at the University of Notre Dame full-time until the day I retire.
It's a credit to him. It's a compliment to him. I think it's a compliment to our entire organization. And we wish him well. We're a team. We're going to operate as a team. We're going to prepare and play as a team. And that's where our focus has to be. I can't worry about Notre Dame.
Chris Mortensen joins us now. Chris, you've been over this all week, month, however long it's been. How realistic is it for Charlie Weiss to be able to effectively coach the Patriots and be the Notre Dame head coach at the same time?
Well, I think I'm in the minority. I think he can pull this off. You know, there aren't many geniuses in the NFL, but Charlie Weiss, I'm told, has an IQ near that genius level, around 160. And I think the biggest thing is Charlie Weiss's fatigue going to be a factor? But one thing that is working in his favor, Stu, is, first of all, they have familiar opponents. They're playing the Dolphins and Jets this week. They end with San Francisco. Then they'll have a bye week. And then this year, if the team goes the distance, it's 2 weeks between the championship game and the Super Bowl this year, and that comes around National Signing Day. And I think, for the most part, people are making a little bit too much of it.
Weiss mentioned Bill Parcells' influence today in his press conference. How close is that relationship now?
Well, it's very interesting. You know, Bill Parcells is the guy who brought Charlie Weiss into this league. But when Bill Belichick left the Jets to go to New England, you remember that brouhaha back then, Charlie Weiss sided with Belichick in a grievance hearing, and that splintered his relationship, fractured his relationship with Parcells. They didn't basically speak for 3 or 4 years. And this offseason, Charlie Weiss wrote a 10-page handwritten letter to Bill Parcells apologizing to Bill for what happened, just thanking him for everything that he had done in his career. And I'm told that Parcells talked to Notre Dame people at least twice this past week to help Charlie Weiss in getting this job.
All right, Mort, we appreciate it. We'll hear more from you later on some other coaching changes possibly going on in the NFL. Guys, 48 years old, Charlie Weiss, Notre Dame, you know they get a good guy. But I put the question to Mort. How do you do 2 different jobs on 2 different levels at 2 different places at one same time?
Well, Stu, first of all, I'm glad Mort set me straight that Charlie's IQ is 160. So now I know the guy is very bright. And I've studied his offenses through the years at New England, and they are magnificent. He is an outstanding football coach and designer of offense. And I think eventually he will do a great job at Notre Dame. It was a very astute choice. But right now, I